You know, there's a guy, did you see that? He killed his wife, put her in the trunk of the car, and then took the 3 kids.
Oh, Jesus,
and
no.
They showed his picture. He's all cracked up and shit. I mean, I don't know a bad day for that. No. I know that there's bad days that people just leave the house and they have a weapon and they get out of a car and the cops, you know. There's bad days.
Did you ever fight with the cops? I know you dealt with them a few times, but no?
I couldn't file a complaint against a police officer because every time I've had contact with a police officer, I've always pretty much been a gentleman. When I was a kid, I got hit one time by a cop with a stick in a big melee. I was a young kid, like maybe in the 7th grade.
Really? I never heard of this.
It was the night that we felt up that chick's titties and shit after that basketball game. There was a fight first on the thing, and a cop hit me, and I didn't know who it was, and I wasn't mad at him. I could have been an asshole and made a big drama, because I always thought from his side of the fucking thing. There's a guy that's just telling us to go, and you get hit with a stick. But I've never been ever assaulted before. I've always had good relationships with cops. Like when they've arrested me, I've been cool, because they're just doing your job. All your job is to shut your fucking mouth. And don't argue with them, and don't tell them that this is what really happened. Don't say a fucking word. That's the best thing you could do. Yes, no, thank you. The handcuffs hurt. They don't fucking hurt. But for me to sit here and say pigs suck and all that, I can be that type of guy. I never have been. They did a job when they arrested me. They did the best job they could. I can't lie to you. I've never really had...
Yeah. Because I go back and forth sometimes. Like, should I be protesting? I don't know. Like, is this an important thing to be doing? But I
Have you ever protested before?
No.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna get a stick with a fucking sign and walk down there?
You would kill me if you saw me with a stick.
I lived in Boulder, and I saw protesters from the CIA would come to town, and they come to recruit on campus. I don't know if they recruited or they took applications or they spoke to applicants or whatever the fuck. And there was always little wars on there, and these kids would go down there. And then I figured out who these kids were, that, you know, they were trust fund kids that just wanted to get some form of attention, and I got it, you know. And unless you really believe, look, like it's not that I don't like protesters and what they stand for, is I think that sometimes people are down there protesting and they don't even know what they're protesting for.
Right.
They're just protesting to make friends. It was like that thing I always made fun of, that thing that happened downtown years ago.
Some of Wall Street, something.
Yeah, the people who were going to shut down the corporations, but meanwhile they're calling their mommies on the iPhone. You know, making videos and sending tweets out. You're not shutting nobody down. This is what a complete shutdown is, throwing all that shit away. You can't stand online on Apple for your fucking phone and all that.
Yeah.
But you were on to something very interesting, and that was the cop thing. No, Lee, I always knew they had a job. When I was a kid, I was exposed to cops that came in once a week, got an envelope, and that was whether it was the bookie place in the Bronx. For a long time, when I went to Catholic school on Saturdays, I helped out this other bookie, Chael, and they always had a relationship with cops, and it was a known thing that, listen, we're going to do this for business. Nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's getting bitch slapped. We're not selling drugs here. Here's an envelope just to make sure everybody knows we're on the legit side. Some people would judge me and say that's wrong. You could never pay.
So that's not from the movies. Like, they would actually do that. They'd actually have cops.
Yes.
Do you consider them dirty cops?
Well, there's fucking jerk-offs and there's gentlemen. And that's in every fucking business.
Yeah. There's
jerk-offs and there's gentlemen. There's guys that come in and go, Lee, how you doing? My name is Detective whatever. This is great that you have a new bar here. And everything's fine here, but from 12 to 5, a kid works here, Joey Diaz, and he's a known felon. And I know he takes book here. And I know that if somebody wants to get a gun, or maybe a kilo of coke, he could arrange it for him. We could shut you down. Right now, I could call the ABC and shut you down for employing this guy. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send somebody in here once a week. You're going to give them an envelope. Let's say, what do you pull out of here a week? Let's say in real life, Lee, you pull out 13,000, they're going to say 10,000. And you're going to go, okay, all right, he got me. Every week we want 400 a week. All right, that's one cop who comes in, shakes you down. This is the old days. I don't know what happens today. This is when my mother had the bar. You're never going to see that guy again.
Okay, but
Every week a patrol guy's going to come in.
so let's say that guy came in.
Now, then there's going to be, that's a sheriff.
Okay.
Then a city cop's going to come in.
Oh no.
And he's going to want 200, and you're going to agree to that. Because if your alarm goes off, they're going to be there. If you shoot somebody in the bar, they're going to be there and clean it up first. What happened here? This guy pulled the gun. Lee, you sure? Yeah. Put a fake gun in his hand. Boom, call the cops. You paid. Now what's going to happen is, but every once in a while those guys go, they retire, and you get a young guy who thinks he's slick. And he'll come in one night and throw a beating on Lee. And then say how he wants this much money. And then come in there once a month, get a couple drinks on the house, embarrass my mom, and embarrass the customers. What the fuck do? You go to the other guys and you talk to him, and you move him. You got cops like that. In the 60s and 70s, something would always happen with those fucking cops.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, something would always happen with those cops because you had people that just wanted to do business. And they wanted to keep it low-key. They just wanted to put their kids through college. And they'd help you out. They really did help you out. Like I said, if somebody broke your glass, they were there first. They'd have somebody there that bought up your glass. If your alarm went off and some hump down the corner's alarm went off, they came to your alarm. Some people at home disagreeing with me now. But I'm telling you what I saw as a young man, where the etiquette was in the 60s and the 70s.
Did you ever see like a business say no? Or did your mom ever say no?
I know that there were some businesses that probably said no. I don't know what happened to them, whatever. I know that also if the ABC was out checking IDs or whatever, these city cops came in and told you their schedule. Also, if the DEA was in town shaking down Spanish bars, these city cops told you your schedule. When the DEA comes to town, they have to stay at a hotel. They don't stay they stay at a fancy hotel and they put it under the DEA credit card. People at the hotel that work at the hotel get the word out. The DEA is in town. That's it. Everybody knows to close up shop, to slow down a little bit. These cops would help you out. So if somebody was watching your bar, they'd tell you. Somebody's watching your bar. This is full-time coverage. I don't know how it is now. There's drugs involved. There's crack involved. There's weapons involved. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm away from that.